Welcome back. 2010 Ford F-150 5.4 liter 3-valve. This is not the dreaded 3-valve. 2008 they switched the spark plug design in these. And if you have 2008 around that time frame, then you have to check to see. The easiest way I know to see is you can pull one of the coils. The coil has a brown boot. You don't have the plugs that are a problem. You have the newer style plugs, but this should be fine. We're going to do plugs in this. It's due for plugs 100,000 miles. So we're going to go through, change the plugs out in this. I'm on the passenger side. I got 4 coils. The tough one to get to is a little harder in the back there. I've unplugged the coils. I spray these, put a little bit of WD-40 on them before I try to take them apart. I just find that it helps to get these connectors apart. It just works. They have a tendency when they're old, they get brittle and they hang up and they're hard to get apart. It seems to help a lot. 7mm hold down bolts for the coils. We're going to pull the coils first, so let me get a wrench or get ratchet and let's do that. I'll try to show you this as much as I can. We're just going to undo these. Should be 7mm. The light's obviously not doing any good way up there. Let's put it in here. I think this is going to be the easier side. I don't think there's much stuff in the way. I may end up taking some stuff off the top there when we do the driver's side, but we'll see. There's the 4 bolts for that. Before I pull those coils, I'm just going to blow that off in there with some compressed air. Reach down in here, try to get a hold of the actual boot on the coil. They're not the easiest to get hold of. They tend to hold on pretty well. So I'm kind of reaching under the coil and grabbing the top of the boot so it doesn't come apart. See, these are brown. It's just a new style plug. If this comes apart, you basically get to push it back down in there. What I did was I reached down in there and I got a hold of that boot and I pulled. So I don't want this to come apart. It's just one less thing I have to deal with. One. There's 2. Move my platform. Twist it a little bit. Get it to loosen up. Come right out. There's 3. Now the back one. I'm just twisting it a little bit as much as I can to try to break it loose. It's been in there for 100,000 miles. Twist it a little bit, kind of break that seal. So easier coming out. That's the plan at least. Let's see. Hard to get my hand back in there. A little tight. There it goes. The weasel around the injector harness there, but there you go. Here's all of them. Let me see if I got it. That held on to my socket. A little bit more length. Make it a little easier on myself. Let's see how. These have a lot of threads, so not too bad though. This is moving. So what I like to do is, if they hang up, this is coming out pretty easy. It hangs up. We'll spray a little brake clean down in there after we start to move it. And it can seep in there a little bit and help. But these are this first one at least Pretty easy so far. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. If they're really hanging up on you, but they're moving, don't go nuts on them. Take it easy, kind of slow. You don't want to gall the threads in the head. There's one. They don't look bad. They look like they don't look all messed up. I'm sure they're worn because they're old, but that one looks fine. I'm gonna spray a little brake clean down in there, just as a little bit of a lubricant. Just a little. Look at it. Best to do these when it's warm. Engine's warm, not hot, but warm. Looks pretty good. Okay, the back one. There it goes. Just enough for me to get it out of there. Warm, but they all look pretty good. They look like they're burning pretty well. There's your part number. Let's see if I can show you that. SP509X. I've gotten a habit when I buy these, because I buy them online. I check them. I run a resistance check between the tip, not the shroud here, but the actual iridium tip, and the end here, and they should be pretty consistent in their ohm reading across them. There's so many counterfeits out there now, and what you generally find is if it's counterfeit, they'll be all over the place in value as far as the ohm readings. If they're genuine, they'll all be pretty close. They'll all be right in there pretty close, and these are all pretty close. I checked them, but let's just get them started here. Always store them by hand. So these are tapered seat. They don't have a crush washer. Show you, get some light here, show you. All right, let's see if I can show you that. So the seat there, right at the base of it, there's no crush washer. It's just a tapered seat. It's like a cone shape. So they're going to cinch up. You don't have to go much more. Don't crank them up. They don't need to. That's seated. That's it. Maybe an eighth of a turn at most. You're just asking for trouble if you crank them up. You don't need to. Just going to cause problems. I'm going to do that for the other three on this side. We'll go see what kind of fun we can have on the other side. like to put a little bit of dielectric grease back in the coils on the end. Keeps the, you still have a little bit of grease in them, I could see, but at 100,000 miles. And I know there'd be people out there going, why aren't you doing the coils? Because it's not having a problem. So I don't want to spend the money just to spend the money. If the coils go, it's not like I have to pull the intake or anything to do these coils. So if they go bad, we'll do them then. But right now, they're not having an issue. They could be another 50 or 60,000 miles easily before they start to go bad. So we don't touch them. Get started. Don't crush these. Just snug them up. Give me my socket back. Give me that. Right, plug the injectors back in here. Plug the coils back in. There's my little T over here. Nope, wrong way. Nope, that was the right way actually. Here. I know you're looking at the back of my head. All right, done on this side. That's it. Let's go to the other side for probably a little more fun. I thought I was going to take all this off, but honestly, I don't think I have to. And if I don't have to, I'm not going to. I believe I can get all four of them without taking any of this stuff off. So I'm not going to touch it because the least amount I could touch, the better. So let me get in there and blow that out with a compressed air and clean it up. And then you're really not going to be able to see it. It's the same thing as the other side, basically what I just went through. I'm going to do all 4 of these the same way. And then we'll take it for a test drive. See how it runs. All right, that side's done. Just to repeat the other side. That back one's a little hard to get to. I have a regular flex head and then I have this little stubby. I use that little stubby to break it loose with the regular one and then get this in there and turn it a lot easier. You know, a couple different length extensions, short and long to get at that back ones, but no big deal. Pretty easy. The one plug, I don't know if I can find it, but this back plug on this side, it looked fine, but it was definitely worn. It was the tip of it was definitely worn down on that one plug. It was very noticeable. I'm sure they're all somewhat worn at 109 or 110,000 miles. But I'm going to take it for a test drive and see how it runs. Well, that's it for the, I forget what year it is now. I forget what he told me. 2010? Ford F1, yeah, 2010 Ford F150. Plugs, not bad at all. Driver's side's a little tighter. The back plug's a little coil's a little tougher to get to, but you don't have to take the air inlet and the air box and all that stuff off. It'll make it a little easier on it to get into the back one there, but I'm not taking all that stuff apart. Just take it apart if I don't have to. The less I can disturb, the better. It took me about an hour to do the whole thing. So truck's running good, no problems. Those plugs they look good as far as they're burning well and everything, but they are worn. They were definitely worn. So it was due, right? A little over 100,000 miles. So if you need to do this for your F-150, 5.4 liter 3-valve post 2008. 2008 and before had the other spark plug, which I won't touch them because they're a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And the easiest way, like I said in the beginning, to tell if you got a 2009 or late 2008 and you're not sure, pull the coil. If it's an OEM coil, if it's brown, it should be the new plug. If it's black, it's the old style plug, which they have all kinds of problems with. So if you need to do this for your F-150, I hope it helps you out. If you like the videos, click the like button, subscribe below. Thanks for watching.